Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I have another CGC returns. So on this submission I had about 300 cards that were sent in. I'm not going to show you that many. I'm going to show you the cards that I sent in kind of onesie twosie ofs, and I'll probably just show you all of those. And then if I submitted multiple, then I'm going to just show you guys the best of. So like if I show you a CGC Gem Mint 10, I might have had the rest of them 9s and 9.5s or 8s or whatever it is, and that might be the only Gem Mint 10, or I could have gotten a bunch of Gem Mint 10s and just no Pristines. We'll see. I'll try to talk to you about it. But anyways, let's start with this very first stack here, which the very first card didn't do that great. All right, so got a Cliffa, which I'm zooming the wrong way. I think I had sold a couple of these here. Let's do it like this. I had sold a couple of these for about $100 that was in a regular Gem Mint 10. I don't know if they went up or down. And when I looked at it, I was like, man, it's got pretty good centering. I think I bought this one in store somewhere. But yeah, 8.5, not that great. I did look at it. It does have some white dots here and there. So probably failed on that one. All right, next up we have Team Rocket's Murkrow. I believe I pulled this one from the pack. Not too bad, 9.5. 9.5 is kind of like a break-even point for cards usually under 30, 40 bucks. Here we have a Goldingo EX 9.5. It might end up going in the bulk. I don't know. All right, we have a Hops Snorlax. Pulled the Gem Mint 10. It's a pretty cool card. Typically, if I send in a holo, I want it to at least get a 10 because, I mean, who else is going to grade that? Which I think I maxed out on this because if you look at the centering, it's not that great on the back. The front looks pretty good, but you know maybe I just missed it on the back side there. Here we have a Charizard EX from. It was the SVP 196 promo. Pulled a Pristine 10. I did send in a lot of these. So there were quite a few 10 and lower, like Gem Mint 10 and lower. But I want to say that I got a few of the Pristines because I sent in so many of these. I had cracked everything or cracked all the special collection boxes that I had gotten, and most of them were in pretty good shape. So I did get a Pristine, but I believe there were a few more as well. All right, if you guys remember, when I pulled this out of the pack, got the Jolteon EX from Generations. Pulled the 8.5. Not good like the Mega Gardevoir. The Mega Gardevoir was pretty clean around the edges. Yeah, this one had a little bit of whitening there. Nothing too crazy. I do wish that CGC would just like clean their cases for me or blow off the dust or whatever it is on there. It'd be kind of cool if they had some kind of machine where these things would just run through it and it would clean it off before I got it. That way I don't have to wipe them down every time I want to go sell them. But that's just, I guess that's a kind of petty for me to ask. All right, here's the Ninetales. Again, pulled an 8. Generations in general is pretty tough to get good grades out of. But yeah, 8, still not bad. I mean, it's a near mint, right? So, but if you look on the left side here, you can see some whitening there a little bit down in the bottom right-hand corner. Here's the Charizard EX. So this was the promo that come out of the box itself. I would have liked to have gotten a 9 or better, but I think 8.5 is a pretty fair grade. If I remember correctly, when we looked at it, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to get a 10. But looking at it from outside the case, it looks pretty good, but I can't tell for sure. Yeah, there's a white dot up there and one in the top right as well. Here's our Larvesta from Black Bolt, pulled the 10. Getting into more modern cards now. Now this guy I was surprised with. I didn't realize Marnie's Morpeko, this card had went up quite a bit because I want to say when I first broke down some of those boxes or the decks or whatever it was, they were like $10 or so, and then when I went back and looked, there weren't too many below like $30 for the raw card. So I mean, it is a pretty cool illustration promo. I will admit that, but maybe I didn't look into it too in depth because I was looking at graded cards as well. But I just sold a Gem Mint 10 CGC regular Gem Mint 10 for $140 last night. So I thought that was, it seemed, I mean, that's very strong for a promo that comes out of a battle deck. So I do have a Pristine going into auction. I think this is the only other Pristine I have. And so I might set one back and just see what the other one does. And, you know, hopefully it does well. All right, Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. I graded several of these. I think I want to say I had 3 or 4 of these Pristines, maybe a few more than that. Several regular Gem Mint 10s. I went through and I picked out, I believe, the best ones. And these overall were really nice. The condition, the centering, these come out of the box. I mean, it was solid. It was a solid promo. Here we have a Twilight Masquerade Special Illustration Rare Kieran. Pulled the Gem Mint 10. Cynthia's Garchomp EX. Again, I had graded several of these, but there was only one Pristine 10, if I'm remembering right. And I had quite a few 9.5s and quite a few regular Gem Mint 10s. But I want to say that this was the only Pristine 10 that I got. These were pretty good promos. I think the centering is really what kept most of the ones that I had from getting that Pristine. Alolan Vulpix, got an EVX, Pristine Flareon EX. I like the way that looks on the English side. Now I graded, I want to say 25 of these Snorlax, just one Pristine. Several Gem Int 10s, mostly 9.5s and 9s, and I think it was because of the centering, and then a lot of them had just like one little dot, but this one was pretty good. So I'm glad that pulled a Pristine out of it. The last Pristine I had went for a pretty penny. All right, here we go. Did want to show you guys that I sent in several Venusaur and Blastoise. I want to say 10 of each. I think they come from the, is that the ones from the Blooming Waters? I'm not too sure. I had a stack of them from when they restocked with my distributor several months ago, and I just set them back, and every now and then I'll just throw them in with the submission. This one got a 7. There's a bend on it, so, or not a 7. It got a 6. So this one did not do well. I do have cards that come through like that, but I still haven't got any Pristines yet. As many of these as I've sent in that have gotten 10s, they all keep avoiding the Pristine. Same thing with the Blastoise. Palpad pulled a 9. Do you guys see anything wrong? Well, you should. Look at that, the coloring. It's like there's a line right through here. I thought for sure this was going to get the error, but somehow they missed it. I mean, it's a pretty obvious error, at least in my opinion. It's going across the top, at least half, you might say closer to 2/3 of this picture where the color is just, I mean, it's missing something. I'm not an expert on all of that, but it would have been cool to have like the error qualifier or quantifier or whatever you want to call it. All right. Submitted several of these Pikachus, and man, I picked out, I thought, the best ones. And I'll be honest with you, typically I get a pretty high Pristine rate for the Pikachu number 27, but I didn't get as many this time. Just a few Pristine 10s, and the rest were mostly Gem Mint 10s. I did get one Mint 9, but these, I mean, these just come out so good. They're easy to grade. Like the corners are so crisp and nice. Like all that, that's just stuff that's on there. Usually they're very well centered. All right. Terapagos. So I had 10 of these that I'd sent to PSA, but I forgot to, I guess press enter when I was doing the submission process, so they were returned. And so I was like, all right, well, at this point, they're not worth that much, so I'm going to send them off to CGC, because at least, you know, if they get a 10, you know, I might make a little bit of money. But when it costs $20-30 to grade something, after you factor in everything plus the shipping that you're going to pay, once you get it back and you sell it to somebody else, sometimes cards just aren't worth it to grade anymore if you've waited too long past the release. But did pull a Pristine on one of the Terapagos EXs. I think it's a beautiful card. Looks really nice. These might do well in the longer run, like with the white background. But because I know kids really like them. But right now, I think they're just like, they're super cheap. Anything with that white background. All right, Ancient Mew sent in 3 more of these inserts. I keep selling them, the Gem Mint 10s. I just have to make sure that the centering is pretty good, because anytime that I open up some of the Ancient Mews that I have set back and I grade some of them, I just set back. I used to just throw these things away, but lately I've been trying to grade some of these inserts. I haven't got any Pristines yet, but the Gem Mint 10s do pretty well. They sell for like $40, so it's better than throwing it away. Even if PSA graded these things, I mean, if I paid $20-25 and, you know, all in for, you know, the grading and the shipping went back to, I mean, you got shipping to PSA, shipping back from PSA, then you have shipping to the buyer. You have to factor all that kind of stuff in. I think I'd still make a little bit of money. So that's kind of interesting to see how these inserts, people are they're digging now. All right, we have a Glaceon reverse holo. Here we have we're going to have a handful of these random holos and reverse holos that are a popular Pokemon that I will likely, if I'm just like taking a lunch or something, or I'm watching, you know, a video, I might look at with a little bit more in depth and just make sure that the condition is worth it. Like this one, that's a 9.5. You know, that's probably a loss, right? But these other regular 10s, you know, probably make a little bit of money on. And if any of them get Pristines like this Flareon, then usually those do really well, because people like the Pristines. But it's just a regular reverse holo Flareon, probably isn't but $1 card. But you get it graded, take that chance, pay the extra money, and you get a Pristine 10, then usually it kind of works out. And even the Gem Mint 10s, you do pretty well on. Plus, they're popular. People like Flareons. So, like, even if I have to, I could put them in a bulk lot, and then people can sell these out within their mystery lots or whatever people buy bulk lots for. I haven't sold too many of those lately. I was selling them quite often, but ironically enough, it's better for me to sell a lot of these cards individually and get better, like I get more of the price, because I was putting some of those Gengar Cosmos holofoils in with the bulk 10 lots, which I think it's down to like $19.50 for 100 CGC 10s. and I would have like 5 of those Gengars from the trick or trade. But the last few I sold of those that were at 50 bucks a piece. So it's like, I don't even think I should be putting those in there anymore, because for the longest time I was selling them for like $24.99, something like that. And then they went to 29, then 39, then 49, and then I looked on eBay and I realized, oh, the PSA 10's over 200, so people are speculating on the CGC, and at 50 bucks, they're like, you know what, it's worth it. Let's just see if we can get the crossover. Nice Umbreons. As you can see, I like grading the evolutions. I graded this Houndoom because I thought it looked cool, and I just like the Pokeball Reverse Holo. I realize a lot of people, you know, they just want to get to the Master Ball, but I still think it's a neat concept here with how they have the textured Reverse Holo with the Pokeballs. And I think this looks nice in the Pristine. Of course, if they didn't get the Pristine, it wouldn't have been that great. Like right here, we have 295 Suicune Reverse Holos. Still a cool card, good grade, you know, confirms that it's Mint Plus, but it's definitely not going to be your moneymaker. Same thing with that Espeon. Got a Gem Mint 10, got a 9.5 on the Pikachu. These are kind of like throw-ins just to have a little bit of variety within my submission. Here we got a Jolteon, got another Jolteon. Got the Pristine 10 on the Holo Jolteon, so I did get a few Pristines here and there. Now, I thought this one was kind of cool. I did submit a Mew from Celebrations that I thought was in really nice shape. And look at that. I mean, it pulled the Gem Mint 10. The PSA 10 of this card is, I mean, it's pretty expensive. It's well up there. So I'll be curious to see what a CGC Gem Mint 10 brings. I don't know if there's going to be I would imagine there's a pretty large discrepancy just because of the PSA collectors and the low pop, you know, for this particular card, but there may not be. I'll just have to see. I'm gonna take pictures, scans of the front and back, make sure people see that the condition is good, and yeah, we'll just see where it goes. And then here was the highlight of the entire submission. First time I've gotten one of these now in, man, probably at least 5 CGC bulk submissions with them, and I got one lone Mew EX Pristine 10 from the Ultra Premium Collection. And so I was super happy to see one of these finally make it through. I remember the first few submissions that I sent in, I think in total I got maybe 10 of these in Pristine. And then since then I just haven't gotten any. It's just been like crickets every single time. And this time I managed to snag one Pristine 10. And it was a lower rate of Gem Mint 10s. But I will say that the condition overall of what I sent in, I got to looking at them and they had like some fraying issues on the side. So I don't know if it was like a batching issue, but this one and a few others did not have that. And you can see how, I mean, this one's really clean. Oh, I was like, man, is that a crease right there? But no, it was just my thumb. You can see where I wiped it off. I was like, come on, man. But yeah, so this was really cool. I'm definitely nice seeing this. I do have a few of these set back in my personal collection. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching this returns. And if you have any questions or you're looking for any of these cards for sale, most of them should be up for sale in my eBay store. But feel free to send me an email as well. Thanks.